I don't want to be a starving artist. I want to be a successful one. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ting and I'm a part-time digital artist based in California, more specifically the Bay Area. I started Chub Cat Art back in 2020 and that's where I started posting cute cat art with uplifting positive messages, especially when self-care was in its prime back then. And now I've evolved my art business to do more commissions, collaborations, and even participate as a market vendor from time to time. This year marks the 5th year anniversary of Chub Cat Art. What a huge milestone that is. This is also the year where I went bigger, and I know I did publish a children's book back in 2023, and I'm not downplaying that by any means. A lot of time was spent on developing the children's book. We had an editor. It took about 2 years to do all the illustrations, edit, finally published in end of December of 2023. But this year, things were a little different. I felt that the art I made this year really pushed my creativity to new heights, new level. I wasn't simply making a book character or cute cats. I was really making something that would be impactful to people, to the community, and ultimately that would lead to actually making sales. 2025 was the year I finally stopped playing small as a part-time digital artist, and honestly, it changed everything. Let's talk about what actually happened. So here's the truth. For most of my art journey, I didn't even realize I was playing small. I told myself things like, there's so many talented cat artists out there, my art isn't good enough, I've already peaked with my children's book, nothing tops it from here on out. These thoughts became my ceiling. For a long time, I felt like I was doing the right thing, I was doing a lot, but I felt like I was going nowhere. I downplayed my skills and people actually complimented on my work. I was very shy about Chub Cat Art. I never talked about my art business on the side. I kept my prices low because I didn't want people to not buy my art, so I thought keeping prices low would encourage people to buy them. So what changed? Honestly, I felt like I was downplaying myself as a digital artist because I was doing this part-time. I also kept doing things that weren't productive on the business side, so I kept feeling burnt out and not making any money because I was focusing on all the wrong things. Back in 2024, I decided to really invest in myself and enrolled into a small business coaching program. And that's where I really learned the key things to focus on, what's really important, and what can propel my business to the next level. This really set the foundation for my art and what I need to do for 2025 and beyond. In essence, this really just set the stage of what I really need to do in 2025. Because of my day job and the fact that I still want a life in between my art and my day job, the reality is that I can't do everything. I need to be more selective in my time and my projects. I know deep down I really want to do everything, but I know now that I don't have the capacity. But if I work on specific projects, that way I can make more of an impact in that regard. That being said, I really need to make my time count, and when I do have time, I need to make sure I'm being very productive with my time. So I did have to decline certain opportunities. I did have to set my prices a bit higher to match market value and whatnot. I only said yes to projects that were actually kind of terrifying and I never have done them before, but it felt really unique and appealing, which is what made me decide to pursue them. And with the right mindset, I believed back then it was the right choice, and spoiler alert, it really was. Because I was more intentional with my time and being more intentional with my art, I made fewer pieces this year. But here's what I did not expect. The art that I made or was a part of this year, it really positively impacted the community in a way that my art has never done before. As an example, Cat Town Whimsy, which was a collaboration between me, Oakland Puzzle Company, and Cat Town, it really merged different communities together, from puzzle enthusiasts to people who love cats, people who love pets. I get messages regularly about how they love the puzzle. It was the right fit. It really captures the essence of Cat Town and the quirky habits of cats. And to this day, I still get regular commission from it, and I believe just as of yesterday there was an order that came in, so very proud of that work. And another example is that I was part of the early design process for a pizza art installation at a local pizza shop in Hayward. The client really wanted something a bit more traditional for the art installation. The criteria he wanted was to make this art piece Instagrammable, a way to draw people into the art and to ultimately his restaurant. So I thought of creating something really unique, very bold, and I just thought of creating a pixelated pizza art, because that's something that's not really created before, and the client really loved it. And I hope that this installation becomes like an icon for the local art community in the East Bay, especially since art is somewhat lacking in this side of the Bay. I really want to kickstart off that, and hopefully people will see what we're trying to do to bring more art into this community. The cool thing is I do get some occasional updates that people take photos with the pizza. And also, as of a couple weeks ago, I learned that the client wants to do another art installation around his store, and I think some of the details are still being thought out. But these are just examples where I decided to go bigger with my creativity. It really pushed me to my limits on what I was capable of doing. So the puzzle art was a huge size of, I think, 19 inch by 26 inch or something like that. It's a really large canvas, and drawing large canvases in Procreate is a challenge in itself because they don't like it when you draw too big of a size and high resolution. So that was an effort to figure out the technicality part of that, and also using a drawing technique that I don't really use before. This is all to say that when you stop playing small, it means that you stop doing the small stuff that may not really matter and start doing little things that can really make a big impact to the community and to your business. This means you are doing things that are tedious and not overly exciting. So the things I've done was overhauling my old Etsy mock-up photos into a little bit more professional, aesthetic things that matched my vibe and photos that I took on my Etsy listings to make everything really consistent. Another thing I did was I updated my shelf display at a local gift shop, and the reason being is because the old display really didn't capture the aesthetic vibe of my brand, and it was also very hard to see all my stickers that were kind of placed at a higher shelf. I wanted to make it much more easier for customers to notice my products and for them to just have a better, improved customer experience when they get my products. I also focused on making content that promoted my products, but did it in a way that's a little more subtle, and just keep focusing on that and keeping marketing aspect in mind, because the whole point of having a social media page is to keep making sure people are aware of your message, your branding, your products, and what you offer as a small art business. So I know it's not overly exciting to do all this stuff in the background, and there's nothing really to show for it until all the way at the end when you do a big review, when all the changes are done. The behind the scenes don't really show until much later, but I don't mind this because I now prefer quality over quantity. Yes, I post less, but I believe I am making more of an impact with the content I am creating. Of course, this is not going to jive with the algorithm, but I don't mind it. I'm in a place where I'm happy with my slow pace. I'm fine with doing things gradually, post once, maybe twice a week on a good week. It's actually better to be quietly working in the background, churning something big in the future rather than doing all the small stuff, getting burnt out, making art but not really getting things from it. And that's how I now see that would be the wrong approach for me. So I am bringing that energy of doing things in a way where I feel comfortable, where it's my own pace. I don't want to be a starving artist. I want to be a successful one. A new client recently reminded me that good art takes time. I have learned that it's okay to take time with art, and I know that doesn't equate to being able to post more, but I do enjoy the process of making ideas and creating and doing iterations, doing different concepts, presenting different ideas, possibilities. I like the brainstorming part of it because I can see the changes of involvement based on feedback or based off of other experiences. In a sense, this is how creativity gets built over time and refined. So I really enjoy that process. So right now, I'm just trying not to let the small stuff. If I lose followers, so what? I might have made a sale on Etsy or got a commission from a puzzle order that week. And what if I don't post that much and people think I'm off the grid? I just truly believe that for my own mental health and for my sanity, I can only post what I can at my capacity. So yeah, good art takes time. My goal for 2026 is to continue to make art that can really make a big positive impact to the community, to my customers. I also need to find a consistent and creative routine that balances my life, my work, my art. That's still something I'm still working on, so I'm hoping that in 2026 it gets better. The biggest takeaway is to do things that can really make a big impact to your business, to getting opportunities. Yes, this will take time to build. It's not an easy process. It does require a lot of time and effort, but the results could be very worth it. It was for me. If you finally made it to the end, I hope you find this video helpful and meaningful, and maybe try to figure something out for yourself in the new year. To end on a positive note, let me know in the comments what your win was for 2025 or what you plan on doing in 2026. Let's all head into 2026 feeling brave, strong, and confident that we can do really good things and make good art together. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting my art. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.